Most people think that wealthy people are different because they are smarter, luckier, or born into better families. That idea is comfortable because it gives an excuse. If wealth is about luck or talent, then failure is not our fault. But the uncomfortable truth is that the biggest difference is not money, education, or even opportunity. The real difference is mindset. Not motivation, not positive thinking, but the way a person sees time, risk, effort, and themselves. Wealthy people do not wake up every day thinking about money. They think about systems. They think about leverage. They think about long-term results, while most people are trapped in short-term emotions. This is not because they are special. It is because they train their minds to think differently, often after many painful lessons. One of the biggest mindset shifts is how they see time. Most people trade time for money and stop there. They see time as something to fill, something to sell, something to survive through. Wealthy thinkers see time as something to invest. They ask one simple question again and again: will this choice still pay me in 5 or 10 years? If the answer is no, they think twice. This doesn't mean they never relax or enjoy life. It means they understand that time is the only resource that never comes back. Another hidden difference is how they deal with discomfort. Most people avoid discomfort at all costs. They escape into entertainment, distractions, and comfort routines. Wealthy people are not immune to discomfort, but they have trained themselves to walk toward it when it makes sense. They understand that growth almost always feels uncomfortable at first. Learning a new skill, taking responsibility, risking embarrassment, or saying no to easy pleasure all feel unpleasant in the moment. But they also know that avoiding discomfort creates a quiet, long-term pain called regret. A powerful shift happens when someone stops asking, "How do I make more money?" and starts asking, "How do I become more valuable?" Money is a side effect of value. The world pays people who solve problems, reduce pain, save time, or create something others want. When someone focuses only on money, they often chase shortcuts. When they focus on value, money tends to follow naturally. Wealthy thinkers also understand delayed gratification on a deep level. They are willing to look foolish today to be free tomorrow. They are willing to say no to things that impress others in order to say yes to their future. This doesn't mean living like a monk. It means choosing intentionally. Every dollar spent is a vote for a certain kind of life. Most people never stop to ask what kind of life they are voting for.
Another important mindset shift is responsibility. This is a hard one because it removes excuses. Wealthy people tend to take extreme ownership of their situation. Even when something is not their fault, they ask, "What can I do about it?" This gives them power. The moment you blame the system, your boss, the economy, or your past, you give away control. Responsibility is heavy, but it is also freedom. They also understand that failure is not a verdict, it's data. Most people take failure personally. They see it as proof that they are not good enough. Wealthy thinkers see failure as feedback. Something didn't work, so they adjust. Emotionally, this is very hard, but mentally, it is incredibly powerful. It allows them to keep moving instead of quitting. Another secret is patience combined with urgency. This sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. They are patient about results, but urgent about action. They don't panic if success takes years, but they also don't wait for the perfect time. They start before they feel ready. They understand that clarity comes from movement, not thinking. Wealthy people are also very careful about what they consume mentally, not just food, but information, conversations, and environments. They know that what you hear every day shapes how you think. If you constantly hear negativity, fear, and excuses, you slowly adopt them. If you surround yourself with people who think bigger, you start to see more possibilities. This is why environment matters more than motivation. Another quiet difference is that wealthy thinkers don't see money as emotional. They don't attach their identity to it. Money is a tool, not a measure of worth. Because of this, they can make calm decisions under pressure. They don't panic during losses, and they don't get reckless during wins. Emotional control is one of the most underrated skills in building wealth. They also understand that consistency beats intensity. Most people try hard for a short time, then quit when results don't come fast enough. Wealthy people do small, smart things repeatedly for years. They know that boring actions done consistently create extraordinary results. This is not exciting, but it works. One of the most uncomfortable truths is that wealthy people often feel misunderstood. When you think differently, you stop fitting into certain conversations. You stop complaining as much. You stop bonding over shared frustration. That can feel lonely, but it's part of the price of growth. Over time, new connections replace the old ones. Finally, the biggest mindset shift is this. Wealthy people truly believe that their future is something they actively build with their own actions, not something that simply happens to them by accident or luck. They do not sit around hoping that someone will rescue them, fix their problems, or suddenly give them an opportunity.
They understand that no one is coming to save them, and instead of feeling scared by this idea, they feel empowered by it. Responsibility becomes a source of strength, not pressure. They don't wait for permission from society, family, bosses, or circumstances. They don't wait until they feel fully ready or confident. They understand that feeling ready often comes after action, not before it. If they waited for perfect confidence, perfect knowledge, or perfect timing, nothing would ever begin. So they start while feeling unsure. They make mistakes, and they correct course along the way. They also don't wait for perfect conditions because they know those conditions almost never exist. There's always a reason to delay: the economy, the market, lack of money, lack of time, lack of support. Wealthy thinkers accept that conditions are never ideal and that progress happens in imperfect situations. Instead of asking, "Is this the perfect moment?" they ask, "What is the best move I can make right now with what I have?" When something doesn't work, they don't see it as a sign to stop. They see it as part of the process. They act, they observe the results, they learn from what went wrong, and they adjust their approach. This loop repeats over and over again. Action leads to feedback. Feedback leads to learning. Learning leads to better action. Over time, this creates momentum that most people never experience because they quit too early. This mindset is not magic, and it is not some motivational trick. It doesn't guarantee fast results or an easy path. There will still be setbacks, long periods of uncertainty, and moments where progress feels invisible.